Hey everyone, it is El Cid. Thank you for joining me. This is my first ever live. We are going to be covering Love is Blind Brazil Season 4, Episodes 1 through 4. They were a doozy. They were a doozy. But before we get into it, could you please do me a favor? Like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'm going to try to be doing this a little more often. And I am going to be joined by my good friend, Ariadne. We have been doing Never Ever Mets, and I have reeled her in. I got her on a hook, y'all, for Love is Blind Brazil. And she said, let's do this. Let's do this tonight. Let's do this live. So let us get to it. Hey, lady.
Hello. Yes, I was just like, I need to talk about this. I need to talk about this because this is whew. That I have my thoughts on a lot of. Well, I would say like two couples, so four people. But I really love two people, and then they just we'll get into it. But it was it's a little tough for me to get through these Love Is Blind episodes, even the American version, just because it's so long, and then the added part of the language barriers there too, and so I struggle with like putting on the English dubbing and English subtitles, just because I kind of feel like I have to watch it in the original language, but I'll try to do it.
I got a basic understanding, high school understanding of the original language. So I'm not going to put myself through it. So I do the English language and the English subtitles. I'm a figure out what they're saying either way. I'm gonna figure it out.
Right.
The language is love. They're supposed to be speaking the language of love. And as the host and hostess came in and said, this is about people who are having a second chance at love. So they've been either divorced, engaged, to the altar, almost to the altar, backpedal from the altar. These are people looking for a second chance at love, and they're hoping they find it in the pods without meeting anybody, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting because I don't think they have done that before, even on the American version with 6 seasons in. I don't know what happened last season or the last season of Love Is Blind US, but because I refused to, watch it. But that I thought that was definitely different because I do remember that they've had people for sure on plenty of the other versions too, including this one, that they had kids before, or a child before. So I thought that was I think it's a cute idea. People still, have their issues, but I think it's definitely a cute idea to have the whole concept of like people definitely coming back for a second shot because whether they're divorced, engaged, but called it off or whatever.
So we have a eclectic bunch of people. I like the group of people we have. I do like the mixture of the melanated folks that are in there. I really do love it. You have some very beautiful women, some very handsome men, some handsome men that we did not see enough of.
Right.
He's a good-looking man, Savannah. he's a good-looking man, but we didn't see any of his any,
Yeah,
of his dates, but
yeah.
we'll get to him. So what I'm going to try to do is ask you, like, who is a standout lady and who's a standout man for you in these first 4 episodes?
Well, hold on. I'm going to go to Wikipedia for a second.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure I get the names right real quick.
Okay, I'll let you look that up because I'm more invested, y'all. I'm way more invested. So um stand out, and stand out can mean anything, and for me it does mean anything. Stand out for me is Renata. Renata is a lawyer. She is going to pair up with someone, and we'll discuss it further. But Renata has that give and take, that pull and push with the ladies and with the men. And she's a little feisty that I like, but I know there's a whole lot that she needs to work on. Whole lot. Standout man for me is Evandro, because that man has the patience of Job. That man has a lot of patience with the lady he's paired with, and I couldn't do it. So hats off to him. Were you able to determine the names?
I for some reason season 4 is not out there, but
You gotta look at articles. If you put in "Love Is Blind Brazil"
okay, that will help.
season 4
Okay, thank you.
cast, yeah, you gotta Google it. It'll be in an article. That's what I had to do.
Okay, thank you, because I was like, I was struggling.
Yeah, now people are doing the show. It is really good, y'all. It's really good.
Okay, bear with me. I got an article. Okay, Ingrid. I love Ingrid because I think she's very beautiful, and I love that she is able to. She seems very composed, and I think she is the most level-headed. So that's why I enjoy her. Um, but I'll talk because I have a kind of like a question about her, but I'll wait until we get more into it, like towards episode 4, because that really pertains to kind of like that episode. But
Right. Well, her dubbed voice sounds like Mona Scott Young, and I wondered if it was Mona Scott Young's voice for quite a while when we heard her dubbed voice. It was quite the husky, voice. I was like, oh, wait a minute, I know Mona Scott Young is not doing voiceovers, but it certainly sounded like that. But yes, I do like her. I like her a lot. And we'll find out why later. And your standout guy?
I mean, even though we didn't see him much past like episode 2, I would say Andre, just because I don't know. He was able to share, and he share like his background, and he, as much as I don't I think he self-sabotaged, I think he did the right thing in saying in doing this earlier rather than later on. So I appreciate him doing that early on, but I don't know. He seems like he's the
Likable guy?
yeah, he seems like he's likable. He's likable, at least to me. Everyone
We'll
else
see.
is giving me kind of like I don't know if I'd really believe him or her. So that's kind of yeah.
So, Leah, let's start with Andre. So, Andre is matched with Marcia. They like each other. Not matched, meaning they, gravitated to each other. I like Marcia. Marcia has vitiligo, though Andre and the men don't know that. And full disclosure, I have a girlfriend that has vitiligo, and I was so happy to see the representation and everything. And what they bonded on was that Andre and Marcia have autistic kids. Marcia, I think, is her son, and for Andre, it's his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But Andre and Marcia are pouring their hearts out to each other. They're understanding each other, their hurts. Marcia is talking about becoming a mother. Her father was initially not supportive. And then Andre pours out how he has basically, zero family support. He has his daughter, and that's about it. His dad is with his grandparents, and the grandparents are keeping him from commuting with his dad. His dad has addictions. He's, I guess, living with the grandparents, and the grandparents blame his mother for those addictions. And Andre said that he was taking care of his mother, who unfortunately passed away. And then he lost, because he used all that time to take care of his mother, he lost his job, lost his car, and his father didn't even come to the funeral. Heartfelt. I felt for Andre. My thing, though, is I don't know yet. Is he playing the nice guy, or is he the nice guy?
Mm.
He does end things with Marcia before they even meet. He has so much doubt that he is lovable. That's my assessment. So much doubt that someone who hasn't seen him, doesn't know him, could love him upon meeting and everything. So I'm like, he is just, spiraling. So he goes to speak to, was it Gudo?
Yes.
That's a fine man, Savannah. That's a good looking man, Savannah. He goes and he speaks to him, who gives him great advice. He's like, lots of things are going to trigger you. Lots of things in your life are going to trigger you. It's what you do to get beyond those triggers. Don't allow those triggers to have you stagnated. Don't allow those triggers to keep you from experiencing things. And I thought that was great advice from him to Andre, because he said your tombstone will be like, you missed out on an opportunity. So he does break it off to Marcia, and he asked her if she would forgive him, and she says, not a chance. But then he turns around and says, well, I would still like to see you outside of this. Dude,
Mm-hmm.
that's where I don't know if he is the nice guy or playing the nice guy. It's like, I don't really want to be on this real serious, but I'm going to date you outside of this. What are your thoughts?
That was and that is that's why I said earlier today that I hope he's in some form of therapy, whether it's introspective on like alone, or he goes to someone, because that one guy, what is his name, Gabriel, he said that he went to therapy because he's always been heavier himself, and so he when he went to therapy, he realized he didn't need to be thin to feel worthy of love himself. So that's why I'm hoping Andre has gone like done some form of therapy. So I mean, because that was really just kind of like an eek moment. It's just I was rooting for you. I was rooting for you. We're all rooting for you.
We're rooting for both of them.
Yeah, because they were so cute. That was the one couple that I knew for sure that I loved, and then he went and did this. I was like, ugh.
And even the men's lounge, they were like, "Who's going to be first? Who's going to be first?" And they're looking at Andre because of how he's been talking about how great Marcia has been. And then he does this. Now,
Yeah,
I would love for them to be at the mixer. I don't know if it will happen, but I would love for them to be at the mixer when the cast all comes together, or other people that have dated have come together. But I don't know if they'll allow that, since their significant other connections aren't, they didn't have any that they showed.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my gosh, I was like, we were rooting for you for sure, for Andre. But this is, he hasn't healed. He has not dealt with, the losses in his life, and there's some heavy losses.
Yep.
He even had, remember that talk they had a talk about, he told her, he's like, I do not come from means. And she was like, that's fine, neither do I. We can build together. I mean, Marcia was very accommodating. Are we going to say too accommodating?
Maybe. I never thought of it like that, so maybe.
So sometimes I think she was just, are you accepting this, or are you accepting this to go along to be the path of least resistance? Sometimes I don't know, is this truly how you feel, or is this how you feel because he is, in front of you? But what I do like about the Brazilian show is that you can give gifts, and they have a chest under the table in their room, and you can leave a gift for your person, and you could tell them, go look in your chest, go look in your box, and there are gifts. Any gifts of note you want to make mention of? Do you remember the gifts?
I remember someone got flowers. I don't remember exactly who. I think it was Ingrid, if I'm not mistaken, but it could be someone else. I remember the flowers, though.
Ingrid got fake sunflowers with her proposal.
Okay.
Fake sunflowers. I say that because I don't like fake flowers, especially for a proposal. Don't give me fake flowers with a real proposal. But that's just me. What you're thinking of is Ariella. Or Ariella. Ariella received hydrangeas from Evandro. And he said hydrangeas mean new beginnings. And he proposed with the hydrangeas. Now, Ariella is interesting. Ariella, like Gabriel, like you brought up, she used to be overweight. And she got the surgery and had, lost a lot of weight. Now she's at her ideal weight, but Ariella doesn't seem to see herself at that slimmer, because everything that comes up about weight, it triggers her.
Right. Yeah.
Everything. So there was one gentleman, and I use that term gentleman loosely.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't wait for the doors to close on his last date, and I think it was with her. And he said, oh, that girl sounds, she sounds nice, but she's nice, but she sounds fat, is what Alexandre said.
I believe it was someone else, some other woman, and then the woman came in back into the women's lounge, and she overheard the woman say that. And so when she went to go confront
Alexandre
about it.
Yeah. And he said, I don't remember saying that.
Which I don't believe, but go off, I guess.
Well, there's another man in there that said he had 15 drinks the day before. So, I'm sure after drinking that heavily, you probably have some missing memories. Okay.
Well, Patrick is a whole different case, so we'll get to Patrick.
So Ariella, anything about weight, she just does not, see it. But she and Evandre have a, lovely, lovely dates in the pods, and they were the first ones to get engaged. I
Yes.
can't remember too much. I know Evandre has children. Evandro, sorry. I'm thinking of Alexandre, but Evandro. She says, Ariella lives with her parents, who've been married for 30 years. His ex-wife, Evandro's ex-wife is the mother of his two daughters. And what concerned me about what he was talking about is like their parenting, they do it by the books. What is written down is what they do. He was married 7 years and his divorce was hard. Evandro, I'm concerned about that by the books.
Why?
It kind of screams to me that we can't just parent fluidly. Like, I'm going to hold this document and hold you accountable to it. It's not that we're both just being good parents. It's like, I have the kids this weekend. I'm going to hold you to it. Or, it's by the book. You got to pick the kids up by 5. It's by the book. For me, it seems very rigid and very like, you got to do this because it's written down in the visitation or it's written down in the child contract.
Oh, okay. So I did what I did think of in the last episode that was dropped on Wednesday, that he was holding himself rigid. So maybe there is some aspect to that. But the only thing I will kind of push back on is that maybe they just had a contentious ending to their relationship. And so this is the only way he feels that he can have some say in his children's lives. And the only way he can really be with them is if they had set these rules. And he feels like he may feel that the only way that he can keep her accountable to that is if they have those rules. So that's the only thing, if I were to kind of stick up for him a little bit.
I could totally see that.
But I will not discount that it could be perceived as controlling her, possibly, because that's where I was kind of like, my mind was starting to go, is that he may be trying to control her, because the way you were talking seemed to me like maybe that could be like an issue, is that he could be kind of controlling, maybe, and trying to control her. I don't know.
Gotcha. I think that I could see that. I could see that pushback. I could see that. I could see that. He may be pushing for this. So I could see your pushback. Okay. I guess the speeding car can too.
I think that was a motorcycle, but yeah. Anything with that okay.
So I could see that. I could understand that. It just, the way it was said, I kind of was like, oh, by the book. It's like, I did see it on his side of, I've got to hold her accountable so I can have my girls and so forth. I did see that. But he was just, I guess I read too much in the tone, or maybe not enough. But Evandro has shared, he's surrounded by his sisters, his mom, his grandma. He's surrounded by a lot of women. And I'm hoping that made him, understanding and could, be with Ariella. He did say he likes old school courting, hence the flowers, hence all the other dates they're going to be on. So, so she says she and her family are high strung and energetic. I don't know how that's going to mix, but when they do meet, it was a lot of heat on that runway.
I was getting a little weird vibe from that whole thing. I was like, I don't know. They seemed, I don't know. It seemed a little weird. A little awkward. I don't know, like if it's like what I mean. I thought they were really cute in the pods, but when they got to that bridge or walkway, you would call it, it just seems. Because then she grabbed his butt, and I was like, I hate when a girl grabs a man's butt. I mean, I don't know. Something about that feels really icky and awkward to me. And then, like, she just grabbed his butt, and I was like, ugh. I got the serious ick from that. So I was like, I don't know what, like, just something about it felt a little off. I don't know.
It did seem a little off. I don't know, because I said it in my review of it. I don't know if it's off because it's the first meeting and he doesn't really know how to, operate with her in person. So I'm hoping that's what it is. I'm hoping he just is like, I just don't want to offend you by doing something wrong or hugging you inappropriately. I just want to make sure you're comfortable. I'm hoping that's what it is. But I'm not too sure. But we'll see with this couple. So, shall we get into one love triangle?
Ooh, sure. Let's go.
Well, we heard you call this name before. Patrick, Marilia, and Renata.
Patrick is a salesman. He is just a salesman. There is just no way that, I mean, I get it. His whole backstory was that his girlfriend up and moved to another country and got pregnant by another dude as well. I get it, and that he's in his Eris F-boy phase because that's what it screams to me. So I mean, and then he had the whole mix up of whether he met Renata or Mariella, and I was like, I that whole thing was a little bit confusing. It was just like, what the hell happened? I mean, anyways, that's just kind of my 2 cents for the
so Patrick is young, carefree. He's a very bubbly personality, very a party, life of the party personality. He says he doesn't take notes. He has the name, age, occupation of ladies, but he doesn't take notes of the conversation. He'll remember what he needs to remember. Now, put a pin in that, because, as Ariadne said, Patrick forgets who he's talking to. Now, let's give him a little bit of grace, just a grain of grace, okay? Marilia lives in the same town as him, and Renata lives just east of the town. So he hears we're neighbors. Both women say, hey, we're neighbors. And he jumps on that and thinks it's the same person is his neighbor. Because what? Patrick don't take notes. And Patrick drinks 15 drinks in a day. So he is stuck between Marilia and Renata. Renata is a lawyer. She's got her lawyer brain on all the time.
Mm.
All the time. And she has a heavy dose of confidence. She's like, I am sad for all the men that have lost me.
No.
I was like, girl. She's dreamt of her wedding day for the longest time. And she told Patrick, you better put hearts next to my name.
Child.
She was like, you better put hearts. So Patrick tells Renata, we cool, we good. We it's us. We in this. So, but Patrick seems like a player. As you said, he's in his F-boy phase. And then so when he goes back to the men's lounge, he realized, Dad, gone it. I told the wrong woman that she's my girl. I gotta fix this. I gotta fix this because I can't lose the other girl and I may have lost her. He was just beating himself up. Meanwhile, Renata goes to the ladies' lounge and tells Marilia, the boy is mine. The boy is mine. You need to just disappear. Go away. And Marilia is like, I will wait to hear it from him directly. Which turns out to be the best for her. Turns out to be the best. Because Patrick comes in swinging like he told her, I confused y'all. Y'all are so close. I made a mistake. He been drinking. And so, this drunken love that I have. Then Marilia goes back to the ladies' lounge and tells the girls and tells Renata, well, Patrick was confused. He mixed this up. So he gonna tell you later.
Now he gonna tell me later or tell you later.
I'm like, why would I even tell her anything? I would let her walk in that pod and be surprised at the breakup.
Please.
Why are we oversharing? We ain't friends. We just met. Why are we oversharing?
Keep it mute and keep it cute.
Right.
Says.
I would just came back and say, Patrick and I had a conversation. I'm sure he'll have one with you too. Yeah. So Patrick and Marilia get back on track, and Renata was not happy.
Okay, I got a bone to pick with her because Marilia was, I think she was spot on about Renata because the only reason why she even went to Alex was because she didn't want to leave so quickly. And in episodes like 3 and 4, Renata was talking about everybody else, mostly Alex or mostly Patrick and Marilia. But she was talking about everybody else, but trying to get to know her dude. So I was sitting here wondering, why are you so obsessed? Why are you so obsessed? And what killed me was when they got to where everyone met up for the first time outside of the pods, the host came up and kind of did a round robin where they asked people what they were feeling and thinking, and they got to her, and then it sounded like she was saying all these nice things, and the next thing you know, after the hosts leave, she tells Alex she just made up what she said on the spot. What? That sounds so weird to me and so rude. And why in the world would you tell him that?
You know what she's saying?
She don't like that dude. That's what she's saying.
Alexandre, you're number 2. You're second choice.
She don't want that man. Like And then she just going and she going tit for tat with Marilia, and I'm like, yeah, like what is going on? These people are weird as I don't know what. They're so weird.
So so my good friend has jumped all the way to the end. So
I'm so sorry.
when Patrick picked Marilia, he was, enthused and happy, and they had a heavy makeout session on the runway
I,
because for some reason Brazil doesn't have a bench for them to sit down and have a little chat.
I,
Huh?
I'm just like, yes, exactly.
Then Renata, when she was unceremoniously dumped by Patrick, was kind of looking around, and she still had Alexandre on, you know, on a line. So she kind of reeled him in. Except she kept on saying, if you look exactly as I picture you, I would be so in love.
Child mess.
And she kept saying it until Alexandre snapped. It's like, if looks is so important to you, you on the wrong show. And he stormed out. And she was like, oh my God, he left. She was toe up. Now, was her heart toe up? I don't know. Because they both say they don't fall in love that easy, and they ain't going to fall in love right now on this show.
Not at all.
So he came back and he apologized for popping off. And he's ready to accept her apology, basically. Baby girl, you better say you sorry too.
But did she though?
I'm gonna hope they edited it out, because Alexandre does not look like the type of man that's going to forego his apology. Okay,
That is true. That is so true.
he looks like, I needs my apology now, lady.
I mean,
But here's the quirk people with Renata. She does, make it, with Alexandre, and she proposes. Will you marry me? Because she says her mom proposed to her dad, and they've been together forever. It's like a family tradition.
Mhm.
But what Renata did is like, let me. I guess they have a DJ for the pods for Brazil. Hey, yo, DJ, could you play me a track? Could you play that track I gave you?
I forgot about that part. That was like the same song that Marilia did. I was like, "Are you still petty? He's so petty."
She played the same song that Marilia played for Patrick when he proposed. The same song. We saw Marilia first play it with Patrick, and they're both singing along to the song. And then we see later on the next episode, Renata. So isn't that, there's only a certain few list of songs you can use? Is that the case? Or is she just, I'm going to take that song, since y'all already have it queued up and it's gone through the approval process to play. Could you play it? Press play, Mr. DJ.
It's the second one because ain't no way that she no.
Marilia is like, that's my song. Now, at first I thought Marilia, that she was a music artist and that was her song. But she's like, that's my song. That's the song I played for Patrick. She took my song.
She better than me because I would have been so petty. I would have been giving her backhanded compliments. I'm not even gonna lie. I would be so petty about that. I'm like, girl, now what the hell?
Oh, I would have been petty all the way to Alexandre. Said, oh, I heard she played my song for you. See, that would have been it. That would have been it for them. But I get too far. So Alexandre says yes to Renata. And they meet, and she actually says, you look exactly like I thought. You thought he had a comb over? Or sweep to the side?
She is so not right. I swear. She. I mean, I guess if you're gonna have a villain, you might as well make it yourself. But dang, girl, you really do not like this man. It's just, please wrap it up. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they make it to the altar. I would be so surprised.
Girl, we don't know who, because they do some good shots on this one. So we see the brides and stuff, but we don't even know who makes it to the altar. We only see like 3 wedding dresses out of the 5 couples. So another couple we meet is Ingrid and Leandro. Ingrid is your favorite girl.
Mhm.
She he does tell her he likes his family, but he loves his alone time. And she was quite distressed by that. It's
I
like,
don't know why, but I mean,
she trying to figure out what you do in that alone time. Are you truly alone? Or is this just a way to escape?
I like being around people, but I love my own time too. So what you trying to say about me, girl? Like what?
But if you're in a relationship, you're going to tell your significant other, I want my alone time?
He didn't say that though.
How much time do you need?
But she didn't ask that though. As far as we could tell, she didn't ask that.
Okay, I'll give you that. I give you that. She did not ask. She is 34, Ingrid. She has daughters that are 14 and 21. She was 19 when she was a mother, when she first became a mother. And Leandra is 32. He just got divorced 4 months ago. That's 4 months ago.
Child, I was in shock when he said that. I was like, "What?" I rewound that twice to make sure I heard it right because I was like, "What in the world is going on?"
Well, could it be that the divorce was final 4 months ago, but we've been separated for like 2 years? Could it be one of those?
Well, maybe you should have explained that because the way you're making it look, or the way it looks without you explaining anything, is very suspect.
How long does a divorce take in Brazil?
Mm.
That should be the question. How long is a divorce take in Brazil?
It might depend on the people involved, just like it is here, because it could take. I heard sometimes it takes a couple months here. Sometimes it could take like a year. Sometimes it might take like a couple years. So I guess it just depends on the people, maybe down there. But who knows?
Okay, yeah. It depends. It does say here. It depends on if the couple, if it takes place on the same, I guess, county where the couple was married, the divorce can take effect 30 days from the application. If there are complications, it may take 12 to 16 months, even for some simple cases.
Mm. Dang. Mm.
You could get a writ of divorce in the same day if it takes place in the county where the couple was married. Wow. So I'll give him the grace. I'll give him the grace that maybe he was maybe he got, it's been 12 to 16 months, but it was finalized 4 months ago. But he said his sister said he needs to be more vocal and he needs to be more outgoing and share what he wants out of a relationship. And I think that was great advice from the sister. And I wonder if that was since, his divorce. Do you have any ideas on what his sister said to him?
Um. Not really. I don't know how I really feel about him.
He too quiet. there's not too much about him. He says she makes him want to be a better man. And when I hear that, sometimes I'm like, you need to be better for yourself.
Exactly.
So are you playing? Are you playing our Ingrid? Because Ingrid is our favorite.
Well, yeah, because he could be like me, where he doesn't know how to express himself, express his feelings, or he could go the route of, or he could be the kind of quiet manipulator. With that,
He could
so
be.
until we see more of him, we're gonna have to
Give him
uh,
the benefit of the doubt.
yeah, unfortunately.
So he gives Ingrid sunflowers, fake sunflowers in her chest. And Ingrid, and this is why I'm also kind of down in the sunflowers. Ingrid gives him 3 rings, or says these are 3 rings that I have. They represent I think she said the mother, the professional, and her spiritual journey, I think was one. And the only ring she's missing is a wedding ring. I thought that was very, very nice. And he proposes. Leandro proposes to Ingrid. And she says yes. What did you think about their meeting? Because I have lots to say.
I think that they have the most natural physical chemistry. Um, I think they make a beautiful couple. Like I said, I just don't know if he's playing her because we don't know much about her. And he's like kind of playing out the physical part of it, or if it's 100% natural.
I'm with you. I thought she did not like him at first. If y'all watch the episode, she is hesitantly walking towards him, and he seems like maybe she doesn't like what she's seeing because he's a little hesitant. But we find out that Ingrid can't see across the way. Ingrid girl, you didn't put in your contacts? You didn't put in any contacts? You are meeting your fiance for the first time. You didn't want to see him? So it's when she gets closer, she's like, oh my God, you are handsome. Is she the one that said I got me a hottie? Is she the one that says I got me a hottie? Hottie patati? I think so. But Ingrid and Leandro is our next couple. So we also have another love triangle. You want to get to our last triangle?
Yes, please.
Vanessa, Leo, and Rodrigo. Woohoo! Vanessa is a lawyer. So is Leo. Rodrigo is a marketing manager. I think he owns his own marketing firm. And he's also a marketing professor. Now, Vanessa needs to decide between these 2 men. And she's having a hard time. Hard time. Because they both say so much. But she says something that was truly important that I kind of honed in on. She told, I believe it was Leo, that she doesn't know what she could have said that would make him love her or even like her. What has she done so far that he would even have strong feelings for her? I thought that was kind of strange. Because is it that you don't see yourself as lovable, or is it how fast things are going? What would make you say that? That to me was really, really, really odd. But in trying to decide between the 2 men, Leo pulled out some tarot cards to give her a tarot reading. This is the cards he pulled. And he told her, if she want to see the rest of the deck, you got to pick me. You gotta pick me.
Grade A
See,
manipulation right there. I was like, child.
well played, Leo. Because guess what? She picked you.
I was like, be so for real right now. I was like, oh, I mean, because I do think that they kind of make a cute couple, and I think they have like the second best physical chemistry out of everyone. Like physical natural chemistry, but when he did that, I was like, dang, like, oh, I was like, oh, dude, don't got a chance now. I'm like, again, I was pulling for him by that point. 'Cause I was like, I don't know how I feel about him and all that stuff. And I was like, but then I started pulling for him. I was like, because he's so sweet, like bless his little heart. But then Leo pulled out those tarot cards. I was like, damn, he's done. I was like, he is so done. Ugh.
Leo pulled out them cards and said, pick me for the rest of the deck. I was like, this is like New York City all over on the street. Pick a card, any card, pick a card. And it's like, come on, girl.
Leo must have watched Grey's Anatomy because what that sounded like to me was Meredith Grey saying, "Pick me, choose me, love me." I was like, he must be an avid Grey's Anatomy watcher because that was a great A performance. I am not gonna lie.
But what also could have hurt Rodrigo, as I'm looking at my notes again, Rodrigo had said that he's been in long-term relationships, but he has never proposed. Yeah. Do you think that could have played a role too for Vanessa?
Yeah, because I think she even mentioned it, how it was weird because she didn't want to be in a long term. I think she brought up that she didn't want to be in another long term relationship, and he never proposes either. So I think so. If I'm being quite honest, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case.
So just like they did with oh gosh, who was it that had to make a decision? Chelsea that had to make a decision between the two guys in the last Love is Blind USA. Vanessa had to go in and she's making a speech and blah blah blah. But she ends things with Rodrigo. And he's very, very eloquent in saying, don't apologize for following your heart. Don't apologize for that. He's leaving with his head held high. And he's open to the future.
I really commend him for that. Cause I was like, poor little Tink Tink. He really tried. He tried so hard.
Is that really how he feels? Or is it that Tink Tink, no, you gonna CC me at the reception. And I'm gonna shoot my shot then. Okay? Well, is it really Tink Tink? Is it really that? Oh yeah, you could go on your little honeymoon with him. I'ma catch you when you get back.
And no, I really do think that he really bowed out gracefully. I really do, because I didn't get the vibe that he was the type to be petty and try to do all of that extra stuff. So
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yeah, I don't get that vibe from him. He just seems so sweet.
And he does seem sweet, but it's sometimes the sweet ones that got a little sour underneath. Okay.
He could be, but I really don't get that from him. That's who I get, because I'm gonna bring up Love Island USA again. That's how I feel about Cordell from Love Island USA. It's like he seems sweet, but he seems like he's the type that would, because just to give a little context for you since you don't watch it, he's one of the OG guys in the on the season. So basically, because they kind of did things a little bit different here this season, as opposed to the other seasons, where the ladies, because they had the guys stand on hearts, and so the ladies decided they had the ladies choose to go to whichever guy they wanted to pick instead of standing on, like, the lady standing on hearts and picking the guy for themselves like they usually do. So 3 guys went to this tall tall guy, the 6'8" guy. One girl went to this British dude, and I think there was another guy that had there was another guy. I don't remember who it was, but there was another guy that had gotten chosen by one of the ladies, and Cordell and Kendall, I believe. Yeah, Cordell and Kendall didn't get chosen, and so basically Kendall chose, and he picked one of the ladies, and so Serena was forced to go with Cordell. So that's what I mean. He is the type who I feel like would be the whole petty part, because he wasn't chosen at all.
Okay.
And I get Rodrigo wasn't picked either, but I still don't get that vibe from him that he would be the petty type and do all this extra stuff. Cordell,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Well, he has not shown us any petty. The men did have a conversation that they will be happy. However her heart goes, they'll be happy for the other person and for her. So they're all good. But she did say something before Leo proposed to her. He said he's afraid that she won't reciprocate his feelings. He is not looking for a mother, and he's not looking to be a father figure to his personal, to his person. But she has a feeling that in her marriage, that love will be lost. I want to know from Vanessa where she has seen or experienced that love has been lost within the marriage. Because that screams a fear. She said her parents are still together. So where is this fear coming from?
Probably her parents. If I'm being quite honest, it's like that's the only thing I could think of, because she didn't tell us any other example of anyone else that she's seen married a long time. So that's the only thing I could come up with, unless it's somebody else. So I mean,
well, he read the day's devotion about God's promise. He proposes, she says yes. They meet, they make out. She's like, he's so handsome. He's so handsome. Oh my God, look at his shoulders. Yeah. So in the meetups, I had to do some research. Both the man and the woman have rings.
Mm-hmm.
Both the man and the woman wear rings on their right hand, on the finger closest to their little finger. Okay? Apparently in Brazil, these are like promise rings or commitment rings. They are to show that you are in a committed relationship with someone. It does not mean it's going to lead to marriage. It is just an indication to the rest of the bar and the club that you are in a committed relationship. Now, I say this to put a pin in it for later, so we can understand where we're coming from.
Right. So I think we were trying to go with that too.
There we go. So we got 5 couples. Okay. We have Evandro and Ariella. We have Patrick and Mariella. We have Leandro and Ingrid, Renata and Alexandre, and now Vanessa and Leo. So where we're going with that promise ring thing is that one of the grooms, the party boy, the salesman, Patrick, is wearing his ring on his chain around his neck. And Marilia, his fiance, is like, what's up with that? Nobody knows what that ring is. It could be your granddaddy's ring for all they know.
Hello.
So already Patrick ain't wearing the ring. Already Patrick ain't committed, in my mind. What are your thoughts?
What I was thinking just now, like Marilia was looking at him and asking him, "Are you stupid? Or are you stupid? Because what is wrong with you?" Because I was thinking the same thing, like what you just said. It's like it could be anybody's. It could be anything. It could mean that he had a previous wife who died, and he's wearing the ring around his necklace. It could mean I don't even know what else it could mean besides like maybe a parent's ring. I mean, and what I just said. So, like, are you dumb or are you dumb? That's what I was trying to say earlier. Is like they seem to have this like very hot, fiery passion, like sexual connection, but it's not gonna last that long. I think it's gonna burn up just as quickly as it started. And I don't really see it lasting. And it's kind of funny because she's over here trying to psychoanalyze Renata in her situation, yet I mean, it's really not going to be all that great, to be honest, later.
Well, we know he can be committed to wearing something, because y'all, Patrick always wears a hat. There is not a single scene where Patrick is not wearing a hat, because Patrick's trying to cover up the blessings the Lord has taken away from him.
He's getting a little bald spot and at the back of the middle of the head, and and this is where Renata kept irritating me because she was like she had to go run and tell Marilia about how Alex told her the reason why Patrick wears a hat is because he's going bald. I was like, and she knows she only did that to get her to get the ick, and I was like, you are so wrong for that. And this is why I was like, you're giving obsessed, and I'm
Patrick wears a baseball cap to the pool, y'all, in the pool.
I was just
to bed. He wears a beanie. Okay, Patrick's head is always covered, always. But he do have a cute sweater game. I'll give Patrick that. Patrick's sweater is a real cute in the pods and outside. He, I ain't gonna give him best dressed male, but I was like, I can see that. I like those sweaters, Patrick. But Patrick has always got his head covered. I guess it's cold. But yeah, so he can wear a hat all the time, but he ain't wearing that committed ring all the time.
Nope.
That's where I'm going to side eye you, Patrick. Apart from that, Renata and Alexandre, since you talked about it, Renata tell Alexandre, well, Patrick always wearing a hat. He bald. Oh my God! Thank God I chose you. You got a full head of hair. The full head of hair was my insertion.
I fell out when she said that. I was like, girl, you are so petty. It would not be me. I would look at her like she's crazy. And my face is not set up to play poker. So I'll be looking at her like she's crazy. I would really look at her like she lost her ever-loving mind. I'll be like, what is wrong with you?
It sounded like sour grapes. It sounded like, oh my God, thank God I'm not with the thinning. Oh, I thought Patrick was cool, but I cannot be seen with him with a hat on all the time. That's how it sounded.
Please. I was like, girl, get a grip. Please, I beg you so bad.
So, apart from that, Evandro and Ariella, they go horseback riding, and it's his first time on a horse, and he's enjoying spending time with her. But it seems like everything makes her nervous and skittish. She was more skittish than the horses. I mean, it's like, girl. So they go to a swing where he puts her to stand on the swing, and so she's taller than him. Now, Evandro is tall. I don't know if he's 6'5", 6'8", but he was taller than the horse that he was going to ride. That was the one thing I noticed. He is quite tall. He's a handsome man too, Savannah. But when he was lifting her off the swing while kissing, he's like, you ain't that heavy?
Child. And then she got heavily triggered. I was like, girl, if you don't calm down, please.
He was trying to soothe her, let her know, because I'm guessing she's like, "Don't lift me, don't lift me," because she's still seeing herself as overweight. And it, as you said, she was heavily triggered, so they had to have a sit-down conversation about what he said, how he said it, and how any comments about her weight gonna trigger her.
See, and that's where she needs to go to therapy. Because, like, girl, if you're gonna get triggered every time someone says something about some weight on, whether it's about you or someone else, you're never gonna be happy. Like,
Because she also sounds like she did the weight loss surgery to remove, added layers, and maybe she has some scarring. Because she also said she talks about her body and how it looks. So I'm like, you need to love your body first, or at least let your partner love you, and maybe you could see yourself through their eyes. But it was like, weight is a trigger for her.
I mean, I get it though, because I mean, or in some sense, I get it because I mean, I don't fully get it because it's like it's just starting to get on my nerves with the whole weight thing. But I mean, I understand it because um and especially about how she may look because as I've said before, I believe on my channel I said that I have scoliosis. So that's if anyone doesn't know what that is, it's just the curvature of the spine. And I pretty much had it since I was a toddler. So when I was starting to walk, my parents noticed it, took me to the straight away to the doctor. So I get it, and mine's a pretty bad curve. So it the way I look is quite different if you were to look at me like fully standing up. So I get it. I've always been self-conscious about it. I understand her her body image. It sounds like body image issues. So I get it. But at this point, she's kind of dragging it, and she needs to go to therapy about it because it's really not attractive. And as a woman who is not romantically interested in women, it's getting on my nerves. So I need her to really just get it under control and like go to therapy because this is very unattractive.
Very unattractive. So another couple we don't see much of is Ingrid Leandro. On that day, they have a lovely bath together. And since she has daughters, he said, we need to have a son, and we need to have it soon. I think she's 34, he's 32, if I'm not mistaken. But they had a, lovely warm bath together, which was quite romantic, I might say. They're up in the mountains of Brazil at a resort that is absolutely gorgeous.
I wanted to go there. I was hella jealous.
Totally. But while everybody's having these, horseback riding, wine tasting, Leo decides to take Vanessa on, I guess, zip line bikes, where you ride a bicycle along a zip line.
Mm-hmm.
And Vanessa says these are two of her biggest fears: heights and bikes. And he found a way to put them together. Leo, you ain't listening to your partner. Did you leave the notebook back in the pod so you forgot her fears?
Did they even talk about fears though? Did she? I mean, did she actually say that she told him this?
Because... Good point. I'll give him that. I'll give him that, Kernel of Grace. But it was so cloudy she could not see the valley below.
Maybe that's a good thing because she's already on one of her fears, so maybe having the other fear was gonna make her. Because all the time on The Amazing Grace, you always have that one person in one team that is afraid of heights, and every season they do something with heights, and it's like and that one person has to do something within that height. So, or with that in a height challenge. So it's like, so maybe it's a good thing she couldn't see not nary a thing because she's already on one of her fears. So
Right. They're so high up in the clouds that it is cloudy, y'all. All she could see is the puffy clouds in front of her, around her, and see Leo next to her. So while they didn't even need to pedal, but while they were doing that and they could only see the line and the clouds, she made it across. So, whew. And she says she's not going to be afraid to be happy. Going to be happy. Ingrid and Leandro, they went for a little bit of hiking, and Ingrid like, hiking ain't my thing. But when she saw the little picnic at the end, she's like, "Ooh, this is like me. I like this." Ingrid, we could hang out. We could totally hang out. Then we have, they all are looking forward to meeting each other, meeting the other couples at the mixer. So they're having their first night together. And Vanessa says that she has a pact with Ingrid that nothing gonna happen the first night with their fiancés. What you think about that?
well, that didn't last long. That did not last long. But no, in all seriousness though, thank you for bringing that back up, like bringing that up, because I was I'm wondering, because Ingrid said that she was in, I don't remember how long that she said the relationship was, but it was like years long where the sex was bad for her. And so I think what's his name that she's paired up with?
Leandro?
Yeah, Leandro, sorry, yes. She was saying how Leandro was asking her about what her favorite positions were, how she likes it, and all that stuff. And she really couldn't say anything because she didn't really
Enjoy.
Yeah, she wasn't really enjoying herself because the sex was bad, and for several years it sounded like. So
Well, to put it in perspective for everyone, Ingrid and Vanessa had a pact for nothing to happen with their significant others. Vanessa said, "Leo's so handsome. Look at them shoulders," and she quickly fell head over heels. And then Ingrid, the next day, she also had, an intimate encounter with Leandro, her fiance. And she said she went to therapy afterwards, meaning therapy after that long-term relationship where she did not enjoy intimacy and she had to learn. And I wonder if she got a therapist like Jody from Never Ever Met. And she was able to learn her likes, dislikes, and learn to enjoy physical intimacy with her partner. That's what Ingrid was talking to Vanessa about at the luncheon the next day. But let's just say that every couple except one was grabbing them sheets. Okay.
I mean, but I do wonder if maybe there was some sort of I don't know if I want to say this.
Well, she has not said that, so.
Do you know what I'm trying to get at?
Yes, Ingrid has not said that.
Okay, because I was like, I wonder if it was like some sort of that situation in that relationship. Because I was like, because the way she made it sound, that's kind of what it gave off to me. So I was wondering, like, is it really? Was it that kind of relationship? Maybe, and that's what I was trying to say earlier. I was like, I wanted to wait until we got to this part because I was like,
yeah, Ingrid has not said it, though. I didn't take it as such, but I could see how it could be taken that way. She did say, it took her a long time to enjoy it. It could have been that partner or, things that happened before, but I want to wait till she says it.
Right. Yeah. That's why I'm like, I don't want to, I want to wait till she says something about it, like if that's the case, because I don't want to put that out in the air and be like it's not even true, and I just said it like.
Right.
Oh,
That's why I kind of pumped the brakes. So the couple that did not enjoy physical intimacy was, are we surprised? Ariella and Evandro.
and see, this is kind of where I kind of am a little in agreement with Renata here, even though she kind of irks me a little bit or a lot of it. Um, so this is kind of where I kind of agree with her, because I mean, I on the one hand, I kind of get it. You don't want your daughter to see this, but I mean, if you're that worried about your child seeing some scenes that are not the best for, I think she said her daughter's like 9 or 10. So I get it. You may not want to see you may not want your child to see this sort of like encounter, even if it's not, even if it's like, say, with the father or the father of her child, then I understand. But at some point, I get what Renata was saying, that you kind of have to, or maybe it was Mariella, but you have to kind of do what you would like to do as a woman as well, because at the end of the day, your needs matter too. And if you really like him like that, you don't have to go all the way, but I mean, you don't even want to like.
So let's lay the scene. Ariella tells Evandro, we just gonna kiss and say goodnight. Ain't gonna be nothing going on. Don't move. Could you just stay still? Don't move. We'll talk tomorrow.
She might as well just handcuff this man to the bed and just like be done with it, and just like make him stop moving. I'm like, girl, please calm down. Like,
so what the camera shows us in the dark, he's just looking at the ceiling while she's trying to get comfortable with her back to him. So what happens is that when all the couples get together, all the ladies are like, ooh, who's been to the promised land? Who's been to the promised land? And Ariella is the only one said, no, we haven't done anything. We just kissed and said goodnight. And the girl's like, what? What is going on? That is your fiance. Live free. Do what you want to do. Marilia is the one. Do what you want to do. If you want that man, have that man. And Ariella was not happy about it. Not happy with how the girl spoke to her. And said she doesn't want to be caught on camera in an intimate position because her daughter might see it. Because this is all over Netflix and this is online. It's going to be permanent. And the ladies are like, girl, your daughter growing up. You could be, I think Renato's the one like, get under the covers then. She ain't going to know what it is. She ain't going to know what's going on under them covers. I was like, Renata is my girl in those instances. So, Alexandre is told that Ariella wanted him, but the girls convinced her not to be with him because they shared with her that he'd said he liked someone, but they sounded overweight. What did you think about that, telling Alexandre that Ariella wanted him?
They being messy for no real reason. Like, if y'all don't get out of here and leave this woman alone with her insecurities, please, because she got enough on her plate. So she need to get those insecurities under control and like expeditiously, and just leave that woman alone in peace. Like, she ain't hurting you, so leave her alone.
Then Renata tells Marilia that, your dude Patrick and my dude Alexandre, they're just here to party. They're not here for anything serious. So, girl, protect your heart. Don't put all your heart in it. Trying to, again, sound like she's trying to sabotage Marilia and Patrick.
I mean, honestly, come on. I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, because, like, get off my damn back, please, and leave me alone. Like, leave me alone.
Then she keeps on going. Renata keeps on going to Alexandre like, Patrick looks different. We have nothing in common. I'm so happy I have you. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy I chose you. By default in parentheses. And that, oh, Evandro and Ariella look like they have no connection. That's Renata. She is just talking about everybody's relationship. And Evandro tells Ariella that she worries too much because she says she's hurt by the comments that the girls made. He's like, you worry too much. You're internalizing everything. Also, Alexandre says that Ariella made him feel uncomfortable at the mixer because she was telling Alexandre that his voice is so sexy. That, ooh, his voice is just awesome. And he felt very uncomfortable. Another person who, and he left, he went inside. Another person who was uncomfortable is that every time Patrick got around Renata, he left. He just vacated because he was not liking Renata. He's like, she's an instigator.
Yeah, because she is.
And then Alexandre and Patrick are like, Alexandre is like, I can't really be with a girl that my buddy can't stand. And so my question is, are we just show buddies? Does it matter if we show buddies, or are we buddies from long, long time? We just show buddies. We've been together, what, 2 weeks in the pod? So we really that tight? Are we really that close? I really don't think so. I really don't think we are that close. So if it's a show buddy situation, I don't think you need to be worried. I think you need to have her meet your real friends on the outside and see if she really acting like that. So after the mix, everybody, dances and they have a good time at the mix, and nothing much happens except Renata throwing her little fairy dust around, or fairy sand, I should say. We have Leo and Vanessa go to have lunch with Ingrid and Leandro. And where Vanessa has to tell Ingrid that, that pact we had, girl, I didn't make it. I ain't make it. And Ingrid says, girl, me the same. You the same. I ain't make it either. Have you seen our fiancés? They're good. And that's where Ingrid shared her experiences with intimacy and her challenges with it, which was a very great conversation. And the men were outside over the barbecue pit, talking about relationships, their goals, what they hope for. It was really, really nice. I know that dog sitting with them was like, y'all need to cut the meat up and just pass it. I ain't sitting here because I like you. I'm sitting here because you cooking. But it was some beautiful dogs. I'm sorry. The three other couples, Ariella is upset. They all have, I guess they all went out together. And Ariella says she's upset about the comments about intimacy, that the woman made her upset. Y'all don't understand. I have a daughter, and y'all just don't understand. When y'all have kids, maybe that's when you would. And Renata was a little bit mute, but Marilia said, I'm sorry I made you feel that way, but you've got to live for you. You've got to live for you and show up for yourself as well as your daughter. Patrick tells Alexandra what Renata said, that they are party boys. Because, Marilia came back and told Patrick everything that Renata told her. But Ariella also thinks that Alexandra is holding something back. Do you think that about Alexandre?
Yeah, I think there's something. I think Alex, Patrick, and oh Jesus, what is his name? The white lawyer. Oh, what's his name? Leo, yes, Leo. I thought so, but I was like, hold on. These names are kind of escaping me. It takes me a little bit to kind of remember for sure everyone's name. So
Girl, I had to write it down at least 3 or 4 times, girl. I have a little cheat sheet as to who's with who, so I understand.
yeah, look, I didn't take any notes this time. This time around, I was just like, let's just talk about it because I was like, I was ready to talk. So I was like, I didn't take that nary note. But anyway, so I think there's something going on with Leo, Patrick, and Alex. I think there might be something more to them that we're not seeing. I don't know if it's good or bad or what, but some about the three of them. Well, really four if we're
Yep.
counting.
We don't know much about Leandro either.
Yeah, about him. So
Well, we know about Evandro because he was a personal bodyguard and now he's looking at going into another field. He shared a lot about himself,
mm-hmm.
or at least what we saw. But
Yeah.
here's okay, Alexandre. Let's get to this part because he said something that comes up in dating right now with discussions. One thing he said in the pod, or one thing he said that Renata kind of pulled back on him a little bit, like, huh? What's that? Alexandre, being the successful businessman that he is, has never been abroad. He has never left Brazil.
Mm.
I wonder if it's lack of a passport. What is it? Why have you not left Brazil?
Well, I guess maybe because I don't really care. Um, I mean, if I hadn't gone over to Romania in high school with my dad, both times because I went twice in high school. So if I didn't go both times with my dad to Romania, I honestly may never have gotten a passport myself. Um, I mean, I don't mind, traveling and all that stuff. I don't mind it, but I would probably never have gotten myself a passport if I hadn't gone overseas with my dad in high school.
So we're saying, sorry. So we're saying Alexandre probably got into the habit of just working, and making a success of himself. So he just didn't have the time to travel.
Perhaps that, and perhaps he just doesn't have the desire to travel. I mean, at least not up until recently, maybe. Because he did mention that if he could backpack in Europe, he would. So maybe that's something that's recent. Who knows? But I don't think that it's a red flag if you do not have a passport. If you just don't have the desire to travel abroad, especially. Um,
I understand. I'm understand. I'm with you. My husband, he didn't have a passport before me, and now we putting stamps in it. We putting stamps in it. We just came back from Costa Rica last week. We're traveling, so it's an experience for him. It's an experience I love, but he's now open to it. But yeah, it doesn't matter to me because I know there are a lot of people in the dating sphere that's like, don't have a passport. I don't have the time. When they could be exploring new places with someone new. But it seems like he doesn't have the time for other things because he said he's never been to a wine tasting or a vineyard. Now, if you look up in Brazil, there even within Brazil, there are vineyards all over. There are wine tastings. So I'm wondering, Alexandre, are you just work party home or is it work? How is he a party boy in Renata's mind? How does that compute? Or is he just, the local bar, like our, old friend Ready to Love, Tuesday to Sunday? You at the local lounge spot?
See, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like maybe because we all know the lounge is not the lounge for uh Mr. Oh, now his name is escaping me. Whatever his name is, um, the lounge is not really the lounge for him. It is the club. Okay, it is the club. He may be going to lounges as well, but it's not solely the lounge. It's the lounge and the club. So, I mean, that could exactly. I was gonna literally bring that up because that could just be it. He just goes to clubs and enjoy the nightlife and all that. That's literally all it could really be in his case.
Well, I agree with you. It could be, but it's like, so that is probably how he relaxes: work, play, but play within the realm that I know, within, the playgrounds that I know. That's what I'm thinking of Alexandre. So I'm like, you know, she was looking at him sideways about the passport. Then when he said I'd never been to a vineyard or done a wine tasting, she's kind of looking at him like, okay, do I redefine what I think a successful man is? Or do I look at you and wonder how successful you are? Because Renata is a lawyer. And I think he is an events, he owns a company that does events and event management. So I'm wondering too but it could be if you're an events person that you may not get to enjoy events. You just put it together, you know. But another thing with Renata and Alexandre is where I like Renata. Renata came with two types of sleepwear people. Two. Um, when she wears the pajama pants, the long lounging pants, and the sports bra, she told Alexandre that means that you had a bad day. You didn't do good. So you get the pajama pants. But if you are exceptional, you get the lingerie. And that first night, he's like, "Oh, I did good. We went to the wine tasting. We had a good time. She liked me."
Mm-hmm.
And she came out in the pajama pants. And he like, hello? What happened? I've been good. I've been good. What happened? You're in the pajama pants. I'm not prepared for that. Uh, she's like, "Oh, yeah, we had a good day." And then she's like, "You know what? I forgot something in the bathroom. Let me come back." And she came back in the lingerie. Now, that is the playful side of Renata I like. What did you think about that scene?
Maybe it's just she irritates me more than I like her, and I didn't really care. So I'm like, because when you get on my nerves and you irritate me, I could care less about you and your scenes about anything. So
Dang. Is there any rehabilitation for that bone? On that nerve? Is there any rehabilitation for that?
I don't know, because usually I'm the type that if you really get on, like if you really irritate me enough, quick enough, there's no hope for you in my book. But
I want you to think about this. There is evaluation and there is punishment. In Renata's world, your day and your interactions will be evaluated and you will be rewarded or punished. See, that to me is kind of a little bit scary because what if she misinterprets something and you will be punished? How far is this punishment going to go? Is it going to be one night, 2 nights, a week? So she is grading you and your performance for the day.
she sounds like she's gonna be very hard to please if she does that. I mean, she sounds high maintenance, to be quite honest.
She calls herself a princess a lot of times.
So
But it seems like they have the same, stature. She likes his style, how he dresses. They're at the same level with that. She seems like she likes Alexandre in some areas. But lastly, well, not lastly, Patrick says he don't want to be around Renata. He told Marilia that. I won't be around her. She instigating. She like to be messy. I won't be around her. Then the last scene, Leandra and Ingrid decide to do an ATV ride,
oof.
where she is passenger. And Leandro had said before that he doesn't drive much. And I'm guessing he's in a major metropolitan city. You don't really need a license. Like when I lived in New York, I didn't have a license. I didn't drive. There's buses, trains, everything taking me where I need to go. And he's on the ATV and she hops on and she's like, "Go, honey, go." And he's gingerly like, "Hey, I got precious cargo. Let me take a little, you know, I'm driving a little tuk tuk." And she's like, "Let's go, let's move it." And he hits the hill. And unfortunately, Ingrid falls off the ATV.
I forgot about that scene until the very end. I was like, because I remember seeing the preview before, and I was like, oh damn, I remember that now.
I'm, I'm, I'm hopeful she's fine because we see her in subsequent scenes that we don't have a Denver married at first sight situation.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah, we saw her walking around in the preview for upcoming like the next batch episode. So
right,
I don't think it's as bad as it was on Maths. So
right.
thankfully, it could have been
Thankfully,
a lot worse. It could have been just as bad, if not worse, than old girl on Maths, Emily.
yes, Emily. Now, Ingrid, please, if the gentleman is saying, "I can't do but so much so far," let him have it. Let him have it. This is what he was comfortable with, and he tried to accommodate you. And here we go, tumbling off the side of the ATV. Okay? He's, we in the mountains. We can't fall off the side of anything because we may be falling down the ravine. Okay?
We rolling down the side of the hill like we can't stop and won't stop, like in that Miley song. So, I mean,
Exactly. So Leandro was comfortable at the speed or slow speed he was at. Just enjoy the view and enjoy his company. I'm glad to know you are okay. You are, bounced back from that. But I hope this does not damage y'all relationship. I hope y'all can continue to do this. But, are there any other scenes or anything else from these first 4 episodes that stand out to you?
not that I can think offhand with the no notes that I took. So, maybe I will think of
Not
something.
not you on the Patrick plan.
Wait, look, normal, because I wasn't sure if I even wanted to talk about this. That's why I didn't take any notes. But that's
At
literally
least
the only reason.
at
But
least you ain't 15 drinks in. At least.
yeah, look, I am trying to cut down on my alcohol. I mean, I really haven't had much. I had like a couple of glasses like the last 2 or 3 weeks, and that was really it. And I mean, before that, I hadn't drunk anything for like months. So I'm really kind of, because alcohol is like loaded with hidden sugar and all that stuff. So I'm
Yes,
trying to
yes.
trying to cut down on that as much as possible. But
Uh,
yeah,
I'm I'm still getting over my cold, so the cold medicine and the alcohol don't go well together. My girl asked me Mexican Friday night. I was like, "Girl, no. We could do it next Friday. I should be fine next Friday." And then
hmm
we ain't got no ever mets next Friday.
oh,
So
thank God for that one, because that was 84 years of
so so I'll have a curfew to get back home in time to watch. So there wasn't anything else other than Brazil. There are divorcees. There are people who've been engaged. There are a lot of parents. I mean, I feel like Brazil is showing us a real dating group because when you go out there, it's unheard of to find a whole bunch of people who've never had kids, never been married at a certain point. So the American Love is Blind, usually it was only the first person who had a kid happened this past season. And then only the season prior, which was Seattle, they had a divorcee. So I think Love is Blind Brazil is giving us a great variety of people that you might find out there in the dating world. People who may never have traveled outside the country, never had a passport, people who are constantly wearing hats all the time. They're giving us an array of people that I'm thoroughly enjoying. I'm liking this group, and I can't wait to see how when people shuffle cards and they just fly out because they lost a grasp of it. I can't wait to see how these group of cards just, I guess this house of cards come tumbling down because a few of them going to tumble, and I put Ariella at the top of my tumble list.
Well, I wanted to ask you if you wanted to say which couples you feel might make it, or if you think it's a little bit too early to kind of do that.
It's a little too early to say that. Like I always say with all these dating shows that have the option, I want to see you in your daily life.
Okay.
I want to see you, after a hard day of work, how you handle the camera and handle being around me. And since there's the added caveat of kids with these people,
True.
I want to see if they do have an option where the kids come in and the kids meet the significant other. So that would tell me a lot. How you interact with the kids, the family, out of the mouth of babes, the kids could be like, I don't like her. I don't like him. There's some that don't have that. Patrick and Marilia don't have kids. Alexandre and Renata don't have kids. But Ariella and Ivandro have kids. Ingrid has kids, although Leandro does not. And Ingrid has grown-up girls. And Vanessa and Leo don't have kids. But here's another thing I almost forgot before we wrap up. Vanessa told Leo to tell her dad they've been dating for 3 months when they do meet.
What?
Vanessa told Leo, when you meet my dad, you got to tell him we've been dating for 3 months.
Girl, red flag. Flag on the play. Flag on the play, please, because what is wrong with you?
Vanessa, you're a grown woman and a lawyer at that. Daddy can't be dictating your love life like that. My other thing with you, Vanessa, is that you are asking your fiance, upon meeting his future father-in-law, to lie to this man.
To lie, baby.
Lie. That's not gonna work out with either man. Because even if your daddy heard, he's gonna figure Leo lied. And even if Leo says, but she told me this is how it needs to happen, daddy gonna forgive you, but he ain't gonna forgive Leo.
Right? Look, see, lying is a big thing for me. I'd be like, hell, like, no. I don't care if Jesus Christ coming down from heaven on large doves with the golden light spreading out behind you. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. I don't care.
Sorry. I don't think daddy got Netflix.
I don't care anyway, but someone in his family's gonna, if Leo decides to do that, and one of her family members who does have Netflix and does watch it, and it gets back to him, he's gonna throw a conniption fit, because he's like, why are you lying to me about this?
Right. And I got to go ask this man for his blessing, because Vanessa and he are, religious. I got to go ask this man for his blessing and lie to him at the same time.
Right.
Sorry, Vanessa. That, as you said, flag on the play. Not cool. Not cool at all. That was the last item I had. So for those who are watching the replay, please let us know you were here by leaving a comment. Please like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that when I go live, even as impromptu as tonight was, you can be notified, and then you can see all of the other videos I'll drop. But I will definitely be sticking with Love is Blind Brazil Season 4. The next episodes drop on Wednesdays. So I'm hoping the next 4 will drop. If not, the next 3. No matter what, I will be here. I will drop my recaps. And then I don't know when I'll go live again, if it'll be at the end of a reunion or later. But please support the channel. support what we are doing. Ariadne has her own channel as well, Ariadne Bene, B-E-N-E, Bene. Sorry, Bene, and it's Bene. And you can certainly support her channel as well. But thank you for staying till the end and suffering through my first live. Thank you so much. And we will see you again real soon.